Hello, this is Notaspringchick, and today we're going to be talking about the jury process. What? The jury process? Of course, you've seen it on TV when they do the jury selection. The lawyers get all, go up there and they look at the people and they ask them a few questions and they decide they're on the jury, they're off the jury. But, oh, that's why. So, here's the question is, how do jurors get selected? What does it mean? Well, first of all, you receive something in the mail, and it tells you to report for jury duty, and it's a summons for jury duty. You have 5 days to go ahead and respond to it, saying that you received it. Check in. It'll tell you what week you're a part of, what group you're part of, so you can go ahead and do your jury duty. Now, for those of you that are thinking you're going to get out of it and you just throw it in the trash can, don't think about that because, well, okay, although they don't send it to you certified, so they necessarily don't know if you've got it, sooner or later, that's something that you know is going to catch up to you. So first of all is, how do they determine who's getting the summons? Well, here in Southern California, they get it that the jurors are selected at random from lists. They used to get them primarily from the voter registration, and then they realized that voter registration was going down. So now they utilize the DMV, yes, Department of Motor Vehicle list, and ID card holders and voter registration lists. And yesterday we were told they use 2 additional secret sources. Yes, they wouldn't tell us they're secret. Sources of how they will get your name. And it's supposedly totally picked at random as to who's going to, first of all, get the summons. I know. So when you fill out the form, they ask you to fill out some different things, such as, what if I do not speak English? Well, you don't have to speak perfect English to serve as a juror, although it probably does help, because since they're not doing the trial in Spanish or Chinese or Japanese, probably a good comprehension of English is important. Also, if you are a felon, you can't vote, right? And this is not a good reason to go commit a felony so you don't become a potential juror. So anyway, you call in, and after you call in, then you find out if you have to report in the next morning. Yesterday was my first day of jury duty. I went in there, and one of the things they tell you to do is to prepare to wait. Fortunately, one of the things I was advised to do is bring some reading material because, well, the one thing you will know is there is lots of waiting and waiting and waiting. Did I say waiting? Good thing I had some reading material, because when you first get in there, you're supposed to be there at 8:30. You go through security checkup, you go there, check in, you do your orientation. They tell you a few things, then you wait. They tell you some more things, and then you wait. And so basically, I spent the entire day waiting. At 10 minutes till 3, we were crossing our fingers because the court closes between 4 and 4:30. We were crossing our fingers that meant that our jury service was over with. However, at 10 minutes till 3, they started calling names off. And unfortunately, my name was called. And late yesterday, we went to the courtroom to find out. So today, we're going to go through jury selection to find out if I have to actually be on a jury. So I'm hoping that I won't. And actually, that's probably one of the main topics that were going on in the jury waiting room. Except, of course, if you are in downtown LA. Now, one of the things is, if you are waiting in the jury room, not only can you be selected for that courthouse, is they can select you for another courthouse that's having a trial. It's supposed to be within 20 miles of your residence, so if it's further than that, then that's a reason you can get excused. Now, one of the things people were hoping they could be on, actually I've heard part of this, is that in downtown LA, one of the courthouses, they're making it over into a movie theater because Ira Isaacs, he's a filmmaker and he's being charged with obscenity. Yes, for distribution of obscenity. He says it's freedom of speech. But here's the tell-all. This is him. Because the jurors have to watch the movies that he's distributing. There's actually 4 movies that he's distributing that he says is his freedom of speech. But here's a quote from the LA Times. It says, "I think I'd freak out if I had to watch 6 hours of the stuff." 6 hours? If he'd freak out and he's a distributor, isn't that a good indication? Yeah. Anyway, I don't believe I'm on that one. Of course, though, I'll find out later today. But here's more. Let's see. what happens with the jury? Oh, here's some of the fun parts, because you fill out the form and they ask you how many days does your employer pay for jury service. Because some places, like if you're a government employee or you work for huge utilities, they'll pay you, I don't know, they say for all days, because there's some places that they'll pay you for every single day of jury service, your regular salary. Some of them will only pay for so many days, and some of them will pay, well, like for us, 0. Okay, so every day of your civic duty, you cannot do your regular work. Now, who is in the jury room? I know if you were awaiting trial, you'd actually want people to be on the jury that you would call a jury of your peers. There's a lot of people that are retired. There's a lot of people probably that work for government places. But now, before, there's probably a broader range of people, because before, if you were self-employed, if you were taking care of somebody and they have a whole list of other things, you could be excused from jury duty. Now, nope, it's no longer. In fact, if you are a homemaker or if you're retired because you're not getting paid, they do consider that every day of jury service is it's as if you're getting paid, because you don't miss out on anything by serving jury duty. Does that make sense? So even if you have something like child care, they don't pay for child care. Nope, you still have to do jury duty. Nope, and they don't pay for lunch. Nope, but they do pay $15 plus mileage one way. Can you believe that, for doing your civic duty? Now here's the tricky part, is when you schedule it, because I've already postponed it. The first time I postponed it, I called them up and the week was not good because we had something already planned. So they told me jury service is 1 week. I said, okay, it's only 1 week, then this is when I can plan it. Well, yesterday when I went in there, no, it is not for 1 week. You can tell them if it doesn't work for you, which is what I'm going to tell them later. But it's for a minimum of, well, actually they said typically it's 3 to 5 days, but it's 1 week after. This is after they pick the jury. So you know what that means? They told us yesterday that, I know, this is the aggravating part, otherwise I would have rescheduled it later, that the trial is expected to last 5 days plus deliberations, which when I asked them before, 1 week, I said I'll give you this 1 week to be part of jury service. So what does that mean? I think if you're doing jury duty, you better clear your calendar for 2 weeks at least, or 3 weeks. I know, or 4 weeks, or 5 weeks, or 10 weeks. How can it be so difficult to do your civic duty? I know, but voting's a whole lot easier than jury service, because all you have to do is read the issues and vote, and you don't have to clear your calendar. Okay, here's the funny part about jury service. Let's see, what else? Did you know that jury service, that 2.68 million LA County residents are called for jury service every year? 958,000 become qualified jurors? That's an awful lot of people. But 7,000 to 10,000 people serve as jurors every day, and more than 5,300 jury trials are conducted each year. Now that's in Southern California. They say that most of the trials are a little more than 7 days, but many are far less. So, now here's the funny part, or maybe not so funny part. Did you know some people actually look forward to jury service? They actually enjoy it. So if you're looking for a jury, maybe it's good to get one of them. But for now, this is Notaspringchick. Be part of a jury.